Hello and welcome to Iowa Prep Sports Postgame Week 5 edition. Nathan Ford with the Gazette here. We kicked off last week with Iowa City High, but we could only show you one highlight, and you can't blame us. It was the biggest highlight in the state as City High used a trick play to beat West Des Moines Dowling. Well, this week we've got a lot more highlights of the Little Hawks as 6th-ranked City High was taking on crosstown rival Iowa City West in the battle for the boot. Jeff Linder has the report.
Hey, this is Jeff Linder for the Gazette reporting from Bates Field, where Iowa City High snapped a 5-game losing streak against Iowa City West in its annual battle for the boot. Today it's all Little Hawks. City High 56, Iowa City West 7. It was 28-0 at halftime. City High got it going right on its second possession, first play from scrimmage, 86-yard run by Joey Bauska. And the Little Hawks were off and running. 3 more touchdowns, and it was 28-0 at halftime. West got within 28-7 on its first drive of the second half. Then it was all City High again. Darren Richardson with 3 of his 4 touchdowns in the second half. He finished with 220 yards on 23 carries. City High finishes with 556 yards of total offense, 387 on the ground, 169 in the air. Quentin Tran was very effective at quarterback, completing 9 of 11 passes for about 150 yards. It was all City High tonight. More than lived up to its number 6 ranking, and there was no letdown at all after its statement win last week against West Des Moines Dowling. Again, the final score from Bates Field in Iowa City: City High 56, Iowa City West 7. Back to you, Nathan.
Not a lot else notable to tell you about in Class 5A. All the top 10 teams cruised to blowout victories. That is except for number 2 Cedar Rapids Kennedy. The Cougars played on Thursday night, and they got a good test from Dubuque Senior. Ended up winning that one 28-21 over at Kingston Stadium. At Kingston on Friday, number 9 Lindmar crushes Cedar Rapids Jefferson 65-0. In Class 4A on Friday, number 4 Cedar Rapids Xavier looking to bounce back from its first loss of the season last week to top-ranked North Scott. The Saints hosted Cedar Rapids, Washington to kick off district play and came away with a 31-0 win. Meanwhile, number 1 North Scott shut out Iowa City Liberty 21-0. Number 3 Bondurant Farrar got a nice little push from Carlisle, ended up winning 39-29. 6th-ranked Fort Dodge loses big to Webster City 41-14, big win for the Lynx. Another 6th-ranked team, Winterset, beat Dallas Center Grimes 20-13. And number 9 Newton lost to Pella 24-14. Clear Creek Amana has been playing some thrillers lately, but the Clippers handed Oskaloosa its first loss of the year 48-9. Big win for Clear Creek Amana. In Class 3A, number 9 Mount Vernon traveled to Benton Community. The Bobcats have won their last 3 games after losing week 1 to Grinnell in overtime, and Benton Community pulls off the upset 20-13 over 9th-ranked Mount Vernon. KJ Pilcher has the report.
Hi, I'm KJ Pilcher from the Gazette here in Van Horn, where Benton Community comes away with a 2013 victory over Mount Vernon, 9th-ranked Mount Vernon. The key drive, this came down right to the very end, where Benton Community put together a 10-play, 65-yard drive, lasted 4:42. Colin Book with a 15-yard quarterback bootleg for the decisive score with just over a minute left to play. And actually, this was kind of a roller coaster. Benton Community came out and scored the first 10 points. Jacob Brecht with a 5-yard TD run to put the Bobcats up 7-0. And then Nathan Rotman hit his first of 2 field goals to put Benton Community up 10-0. Mount Vernon answered with a touchdown in the second quarter. They actually came away with a lead in the third. Owen Brazzi and Trenton Pitlick with touchdown runs to go up 13-10. Then it was Rotman again. The first one was a 35-yard field goal. The second one, 25, with 9:21 to go in the fourth quarter to tie it up 13-13. Mount Vernon drove into Bobcat territory after that field goal, got down to the 35 where there was a turnover on downs, and then it was a winning drive by the Bobcats. A lot of Brecht runs that kicked it off. 9-yard gain, a 7-yard gain, 9-yard gain on the first 3 plays of that possession. Then a key 4th and 1 right before the touchdown, where an offsides penalty extended the drive for Benton before Book was able to cap things off with that winning run. Book ended up with 170 total yards, including 132 passing. Brecht with over 100 yards rushing and receiving, I think 89 yards total rushing. So a big district opening win for the Bobcats, who improved to 4-1 and have won their 4th straight game. Mount Vernon drops to 3-2. Back to you, Nathan.
8th-ranked Sergeant Bluff Luton, meanwhile, survived against Sioux Center 14-9. Everybody else cruised. 3rd-ranked West Delaware over Center Point Urbana 49-14. Number 4 Solon shut out West Burlington Notre Dame 56-0. Benton Shellsburg edges Maquoketa 24-21 in the Gazette area. And on Thursday, 10th-ranked Davenport Assumption beat DeWitt Central 41-10. Some more big games in Class 2A District 2. Just last week, Southeast Valley upset top-ranked OABCIG. Now this week, the Jaguars are the number 1 team, looking to avoid a loss of their own against another highly ranked team, 3rd-ranked Esterville Lincoln Central. And Southeast Valley came away with a 24-14 win. OABCIG, meanwhile, dropped to number 6, but be looking for the Falcons to rise back up. They beat 2nd-ranked Spirit Lake 28-21 tonight, District 2. Just more craziness. 4th-ranked West Marshall beat Iowa Falls Alden 35-7. All the other top 10 teams winners in Class 2A. In the Gazette area, it was Comanche 35, Anamosa 25, Northeast over Tipton 38-6. West Liberty, behind a big night from Josiah Galvan, beat Monticello 41-35. Williamsburg over Central Lee 48-3. Mid Prairie 66, Central Lee 8. North Fayette Valley beats Dubuque Waller 50-33. Class 1A, number 3 Iowa City Regina, another undefeated showdown. The Regals beat Mediapolis last week 34-0 to hand the Bulldogs their first loss. It was a similar story against Wilton as Regina rolls to a 35-7 win. The top 2 teams had no problem either. Van Meter over West Central Valley 70-0. Number 2 Underwood over MVAO COU 70-6. 4th-ranked Dike New Hartford beat East Marshall 56-6, and one of the games of the night, number 5 Sigourney Keota over number 7 Pella Christian 20-13. 6th-ranked West Sioux beat Western Christian 41-27. 10th-ranked Waterloo Columbus with another win over Cascade 35-13. Mediapolis took another loss, this one to West Branch in a really good game 24-21. And MFL Marmac bounced back from last week's loss to Columbus 43-6 against Sumner Fredericksburg. Class A, number 1 West Hancock rolled past North Union 42-7. Number 2 Grundy Center over AGWSR 35-3. 4th-ranked Lisbon hung on against Wapello 28-14. Number 6 North Lynn with a big win over South Winneshiek. Ryan Pleggenkuhle has the report from Troy Mills.
It's a final here from Troy Mills. North Lynn outlasted the gritty South Wind team 20-6 in a Class A District 4 battle. The Lynx were led by quarterback Tate Hoggenberry, who threw for 227 yards and 3 TDs. 2 of those TDs went to wideout Austin Hilmer. Hilmer finished with 116 receiving yards. Cade Hoggenberry also added 101 yards on the ground for the Lynx. Southwind scored early in the first quarter, but they were held scoreless from that point on and completed just 1 pass in the game. Northland will travel to Starmont next Friday, while Southwind will head to Wapsie Valley. Back to you, Nathan.
And a couple of upsets in Class A tonight. Number 7 Riverside loses to AHSTW 47-12, and North Butler hands Mason City Newman a 41-13 defeat. The Knights were ranked number 10 in Class A. North Tama beating St. Ansgar 39-29, a nice win for the 8th-ranked Red Hawks. Elsewhere in the Gazette area, it was Albernet over Highland 26-21, Belle Plaine 54, North Mahaska 12. Bellevue beat North Cedar 63-25. East Buchanan shut out Maquoketa Valley 40-0, and Starmont beat Clayton Ridge 30-15. Game of the night, though, had to be in 8-player. Number 1, Anita Cam at number 2, Audubon. And Cam actually raced out to a 24-0 first quarter lead in this one. It looked like the Cougars might pull away, but this is 8-player football. Anything can happen. And Ottoman made this a 2-point game in the second quarter, and also the third quarter. It was 36-34, but Cam ends up pulling away for the 58-42 win to solidify itself as the number 1 ranked team in 8-player. Elsewhere, third-ranked Montezuma beat Southeast Warren 41-12. Number 4 Easton Valley over Central City 63-6. Number 6 New Alfanda got a test from Kingsley Pearson, won it 41-34 for the Mustangs. Number 7 Janesville and number 9 Turkey Valley, another great game, top 10 matchup tonight. Turkey Valley gets the 28-22 win. The Trojans stay undefeated and hand the Wildcats their first loss. Number 8 Gladbrook Rhinebeck shut out GMG 58-0. And here's a score you don't see in 8-player very often. 7-0. Number 10 Waco just needed the 1 touchdown to beat New London. That was a New London team that was ranked last week before losing to English Valleys. And English Valley's got another close win tonight over Iowa Valley, 52-46. Other Gazette area 8-player scores: Baxter over BGM, 74-44. Edgewood Colesburg over Calamus Wheatland 78-0. Lansing Key beat Elkader Central 66-0. And Springville beat Midland 44-8. That's going to do it for week 5 of Iowa Prep Sports Postgame. You can find all of the scores from the ranked teams at thegazette.com, as well as area coverage. Make sure to subscribe to our newsletter there as well. You'll get a full statewide score list on Saturday mornings, as well as links to all the coverage, photos, everything you could want from a Friday night of Iowa high school football. Thanks again for tuning in, whether it be video or audio, and have a good weekend, everybody.